Tehran's Central Square and a newly unveiled mural, Iran's direct warning to the United States not to attempt a military attack on the country. In the face of any aggression or threat, we will respond decisively, with full force and comprehensively. The inscription in English and Persian, "If you sow the wind, you will reap the whirlwind," is a response to the deployment of the USS Abraham Lincoln aircraft carrier to the region, which has just arrived in the Middle East.
I'd rather not see anything happen, but we're watching them very closely.
The presence of an American aircraft carrier in the region significantly strengthens the military potential of the United States. Each such aircraft carrier has over 70 state-of-the-art combat aircraft. There is also a lot of weaponry, and this additionally means that the United States will not be accused, for example, by the Qataris or the Saudis, of attacking Iran from our bases. That is, from our territory, from your bases, but on our territory, thus endangering both themselves and us. What does such an armada consist of? We definitely have missile destroyers, anti-submarine units, and units to provide air defense support for the entire armada. However, this is not the last interesting piece of news, because we have also learned that additional units, not only from the U.S. Navy but also from the U.S. Air Force, have been sent to the Middle East. President Donald Trump threatened the Ayatollah regime with intervention in response to the violent suppression of protests that broke out in Iran at the turn of the year.
837, mostly young men, were going to be hung on Thursday. And I said, if you hang those people, you're going to be hit harder than you've ever been hit. It'll make what we did to your Iran nuclear look like peanuts. And an hour before this horrible thing was going to take place, they canceled it. And they actually said they canceled it. They didn't postpone it, they canceled it. So that was a good sign.
Were the executions actually canceled? We don't know, as the Iranian authorities cut off the country from the internet for over a week, during which time, according to later reports, a bloody massacre took place. The Iran International Portal reports that between January 8th and 9th alone, the regime's authorities killed over 36,500 Iranians. Now, Iranians on social media are warning that doctors are receiving death sentences for helping protesters injured in demonstrations against the Ayatollah regime. An online petition is underway to save surgeon Dr. Alireza Golchini. According to reports, Dr. Golchini treated injured protesters solely on the basis of his professional and ethical duties as a doctor. Instead of being protected for maintaining medical neutrality, he was falsely accused of espionage and declared a traitor.
He took onto his Instagram and posted that he was available to provide care to anyone who was injured. The regime took that as a threat. They've arrested him, transported him to Tehran, and he's awaiting his execution. Please, please, please share this and maybe we can put a stop to it.
Currently, however, it is difficult to count on respect for international law and human rights in Iran. He was violently beaten during arrest, denied access to a lawyer, and his family has been kept in the dark. Iran escalates repression. Alongside the United Nations, Iranians are asking President Donald Trump for help in their opposition on social media. If it is in the national interest of the United States, Trump will play this card, just as it was in the national interest of the United States to remove Maduro. However, any such attack, even if it hit its targets, could be exploited politically. The U.S. administration faces a rather significant dilemma, as individual attacks on military facilities or local militia bases could result in a large number of civilian casualties, which could be cleverly exploited by Tehran to fuel anti-American sentiment. At the moment, the United States is focusing its strategy on the Asian giant, the People's Republic of China, which currently poses the greatest financial and military threat to the Americans. It is China that will see how powerful the American army is, while Iran, like Venezuela and Russia, is just one of the gas stations for China, a place where they can get their fuel. China exchanged oil for something else. Often it was even barter, but generally they did not pay in U.S. dollars. So if the Iranian regime enters into negotiations with the American side behind the scenes, of course that the oil they sell will be denominated in U.S. dollars. I think that's what Trump will be looking for right off the bat. Making Iranian oil trade dependent on the U.S. would be another blow to Beijing. After Persia and Venezuela, the Chinese would be left with only one gas station, independent of the Americans, Russia.